Being a musician, being an artist is about being that artist 24 hours a day. It's not about just how many hours you spend in a practice room. It's about how you live your life. How do you learn? How do you evolve? How do you create 24 hours a day? The most important part of being in the arts is that you find a way never to stagnate. Always want to see a new perspective. Being able to see the subtle differences, how the world around you is changing, having the ability to empathize. Creativity is about having curiosity. How does one continue to find their points of inspiration? There's an experience of going to live performance that is the essence of what it is that we as musicians do. Even when I'm on tour, I will look in that city to see who else is performing, and I will go to those performances. A lot of the projects I like doing are about concepts that are larger than just the pieces themselves, questions that I have in my own life. Ideas for me have come from going to theater, going to museums, going to certain installations by different artists, by reading. It challenges my way of thinking either about a piece or about a composer. I had always thought, oh, I'm not ready yet to perform the 10 Beethoven Sonatas in public. There was so much weight to it. I actually remember when I finally did present the idea that I do the Beethoven Sonatas, they said, you're not known as a Beethoven player, so we don't think it's a good idea. And that made me actually think more. If I was actually a German violinist, they would have said, that's the most natural thing for you to do. I'm an American violinist, I'm female, of Asian background. I decided to explore that idea. Who does this music actually belong to? How is it that we identify so strongly with this music? It's no longer about being Asian, it's no longer about being American, that we begin to identify purely as artists. And that definition overshadows all else. How do you answer those questions in a way that's interesting? Bridge to Beethoven was really about challenging not only the fears that I had, but the definitions that I realized had been put upon me, and which to some degree I even put upon myself. At the same time, I saw a production of Julius Caesar. The setting was Africa. The figure of Julius Caesar was actually this figure of a kind of despotic military leader. In essence, I had always had sympathy towards this kind of tragic leader figure of Julius Caesar, and I think the production completely changed everything on its head. And the empathy that I felt for Brutus and how I thought even of Mark Antony and Julius Caesar completely changed as well. So that made me also realize the assumptions that we carry in our lives. Seeing this play clarified what I wanted Bridge to Beethoven to be about. All of these questions that I have myself, I'm still a product of this certain time and this society. I can only assume that there will be other people that have these questions, and that the music that I find compelling, there have to be other people that also find it compelling.